Hey Hokie Nation, it's Jalen Lane, wide receiver on the Virginia Tech football team. Follow my channel on triumphnil.com and subscribe today.
Virginia Tech getting set to take on Louisville this Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the ACC Network. Mitch Gerber alongside Da'Quan Felton as he comes off of 2 touchdown receptions this past weekend inside Lane Stadium. First of all, before we even talk about NIL, anything else, walk us through the feeling of collecting a couple of different touchdowns.
Oh, it feels good, able to make plays, help the team out, bring that energy, bring the juice to the team that we need.
Malachi Thomas, that trick play. When you obviously caught that one, take us through your mind, your thought process right there as you catch that touchdown pass on a trick play from a running back.
So we practiced a lot, and we went back and forth on how he was going to throw it, when he was going to throw it, just making jokes about it. And when they called it in the play, when they called it in the game, I just knew, like, oh, touchdown. I trust him, he trusts me, touchdown.
What did you say to him when you went back over on the sideline?
We ain't start smiling. We dapped each other up probably like 5 times.
That's awesome. Once again, Virginia Tech going to take on Louisville this Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You know, obviously the beginning of the season didn't go the way that you guys wanted to go, but here you are. You put yourself in a position, you're competing against another top 15 opponent on the road with something to play for this Saturday. How much of that is you guys trusting the process week in and week out?
So we're always told trust the process, and things not going your way, you still got to trust the process, keep working, keep grinding, because you never know when it can switch. And so the beginning of the season didn't go our way, but we stayed down, kept trusting the process, kept working, and now the process is working for us.
What are some of the little ways that you have invested in that process to make sure that you stay grounded, no matter if it's a win or a loss, you stay grounded in your process day in and day out?
Not even me, but also the team. Like, we block out outside noises, any negativity and stuff. Even, like, you just gotta block that out and keep working. So even when we're away from the facility and stuff, still put in work outside the facility. When you really want it bad, you gotta just keep working.
What makes your wide receiver unit so lethal at this point in the year?
Everyone makes each other better. We compete and stuff. We talk trash even to each other, like, just to make sure we all getting better every day.
Once again, Virginia Tech going to take on Louisville this Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on the road on the ACC Network. All right, Da'Quan, let's flip the page towards name, image, and likeness, as that continues to be a trending topic in today's day and age. Coming off a couple of touchdowns inside Lane Stadium, you being a Division I wide receiver, how do you approach NIL?
NIL is a great thing for all athletes across the world, but at the end of the day, you got to keep the main thing, because at the end of the day, whatever you do on the field, NIL will end up taking care of itself. So you always got to keep the main thing.
Keeping that main thing, that being football on the field. When you do have success, like you did this past Saturday, and you've got all these different voices, I would imagine, on the outside, right? This person telling you to do this person in your DM saying, hey, I want to do a deal with you, so on and so forth. How do you conceptualize all of that and make sure that you do stay focused on that process and keep the main thing?
So honestly, it's kind of a mindset thing. You gotta be able to block out some of the noise. That way you keep the main thing. That way you know what the main focus is. But also, even with NIL, like, the fans, like, they pour into it and they play a big role in it.
How important is it for fans to continue to pour into name, image, and likeness at a place like Virginia Tech that has a whole lot of potential in that space?
It's very important, and it doesn't go unnoticed. We notice everything, and we love it, and we want them to continue to do it.
Speaking of name, image, and likeness, that obviously takes you away from the football field. What are some of the passion areas that you're interested in? If football weren't a thing, or if somebody was watching this and said, hey, I want to be able to work with Da'Quan Felton on this or that, what are some of those interest areas for you?
Real estate, entrepreneurship.
Real estate and entrepreneurship. All right, so real estate. There's a lot of you that are interested in that space. What specifically in the real estate world are you interested in?
Like flipping houses, turning houses to Airbnb, stuff like that.
Like down the road after the league and stuff like that, being able to make some of that lucrative money away from football, that definitely makes sense. Any specific area that you would be like, here's my top market that I really want to get interested in or invested in?
That I would have to say doing that in either Atlanta or Dallas.
Atlanta or Dallas. All right, so if anybody is watching from Atlanta or Dallas, reach out to us, and we'd be happy to set you up with a conversation with Da'Quan. And then you said entrepreneurship. What specifically on the entrepreneurship side would intrigue you?
So honestly, entrepreneurship, comes to my mind because I feel like in that it's similar to football in a mindset way because either way you grinding.
Yeah.
When you want something, like you got to grind for that. Entrepreneurship not easy, so it's like you grind, and I love to grind.
What would your advice be to somebody that doesn't necessarily understand the grind of, all right, you've got football, you've got NIL, you've got class, and your social life on top of that? What would your advice be to somebody that is either an up-and-coming student athlete or somebody that might look up to you right here on campus as far as being able to embrace that grind day in and day out?
So you just got to stay level-headed, stay humble, because at the end of the day, all of this goes back to what you do on the football field. So you got to grind, because if you grind for football, everything else will take care of itself.
Definitely. Very well said right there. You were telling me before we got started on this that you're also interested in potentially being an FBI agent, something like that. That's intriguing. That raises the little red flag right there. What specifically intrigues you about that?
Honestly, I grew up watching Criminal Minds with my sister.
Yeah.
So that played a role. And it looked a little interesting. Then I did a little more research on it. Then I got a friend from my old school. He's into that, and so he kind of like tried to persuade me in a way with that.
Anything specific within the agent world that you would be like, that would be fun to be a part of?
Cold cases.
Cold cases. That'd be cool.
Cold cases.
All right. Any FBI agents out there watching this, also reach out to us. We'll get you connected with Da'Quan Felton. I think that would be super interesting to just learn more about, right? You said you got a friend that's trying to persuade you and stuff like that, but obviously there's so much that goes into this world, and you only have so much time on your hands. So reach out to us. We're happy to get you connected with any student athletes. As Da'Quan emphasize the importance of name, image, and likeness. It's not just about money. There's so much more that goes into this, that being the educational piece, that one of the things being the educational piece, and so on and so forth. So very well said right there. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.